it's Biddy Penny. Welcome to my channel. I hope you guys are doing great. Well, do y'all remember when we made this in a live? Just grabbed a classic Italian pasta box and made this cover real quick because I wanted y'all to see just how quick it could be to turn recycling into a journal cover. We are going to use this today, and it's going to have to be 3 signatures. I'm going to make a junk journal for our upcoming trip. And so I went through my paper and I grabbed papers that I wanted in this junk journal, which included, I didn't even know I had this one, but Our Travel Adventure by Steve Duncan. This is a Cartabella. And then I have an Alice in Wonderland from Echo Park. And then I also have Magical Adventure from Echo Park. I'm going to combine all of these and make myself, well, and my family, a junk journal for our upcoming family vacation. So that's what we're doing today. I did go ahead and grabbed some 12 by 12 paper from my stash to work on this cover. 8.5 by 11 would totally work too, but I had the 12 by 12 when I was going through all my 12 by 12 paper, so I grabbed it instead. And yeah, we're just gonna get to crafting here. Happy Saturday. It's the weekend. It's finally the weekend. Don't blink, it'll pass us all by. Okay. So let me say hello to everyone in the chat because there's just no way I'm going to let myself get behind today. Not going to let that happen. So, hello, Miss Mary. Good morning. And Ava, hello. Good morning. Hi, Beth. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Rose. Oh my gosh, so many friends. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Anne. And another Anne. Angie and Ann R. Hello, hello. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Esther. Good afternoon to you. Hello, Maddie. So good to see you all. Okay, so let's just get to crack-a-lackin' here and make this journal. So we've got this classic Italian pasta. Yeah, I'm sure it's very classic. And we're going to turn this into our journal cover. Now, I'm going to flip it around. Let's see, it doesn't really matter, I guess, except for this is the cover and this is the back. So when I get done covering this, it does. What I'm trying to say is it doesn't matter that my seam is right here on this side, because when I get done, I can just turn it around. Okay, but I could also put my seam right here if that, and what I'm talking about is my seam between my 2 pages. I could also put it right here if I wanted to. Where I usually put my seam is right in the center where my spine is. That's where I typically put my seam. I'm gonna have a lot of excess paper that I cut off, but I'm not worried about that. I can end up using that to mat photos and things like that. So what I'm gonna do is kind of line up my paper about right there. And that way my seam is mostly on my spine. It needs to be a little more narrow. There we go. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to take this and I'm going to cover quite a bit of it, not all of it, but quite a bit of it with this double-sided tape. Now, not just any double-sided tape will do, because you really want something that is going to withstand like humidity and age well. If you're making, especially if you're making something to sell, or if you're making something more archival, then you're really going to want the good stuff when it comes to your double-sided tape, because not all are created equal. This is a Korean one, and I've always had really good luck with this one. It does well over time. Now, if I was just using glue, what I do with these slick packaging containers is I actually sand them with a sanding block to kind of sand off some of that slick printed imagery so that my wet glue sticks better. With this double-sided tape, I don't have to do that. So it just depends on what materials you're using. I'm gonna put this right here. I'm also going to be using wet glue. So let me get my 2 pages joined together as well. Hi, Rebecca. I hope you're doing well. So good to see you. Okay, so I'm going to put tape here. Sorry, it's hard for y'all to see. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to put tape here, and then I'm going to put tape on this other one as well. And I'm going to join these 2 together. Now, like I said, I'm going to have excessive amounts of paper that I cut off, but that's okay from the edges. Okay. All right. So I think for now, we're good on the tape, but we'll be using it again. So I'm making a junk journal this morning, but it's not really a junk journal. I'm making a memory keeping book for our upcoming family vacation. We're going to a wedding. We're going to Universal Studios, and we're going to Disney World in Orlando. And I know I'll be taking pictures. We'll all be taking pictures, and I wanted a place for us to document things. And, you know, to put the keepsakes that if we have little keepsakes and things that we bring back, we will have a place to put it all. So I'm making a journal for that. I could have made a mini album. I definitely thought about it. But I decided to go junk journal because I think for me and the way that I like to document, it's my preferred way. So I tried to get my daughter into scrapbooking, but it didn't really work. Okay, so now these 2 pieces of paper are like not gonna come apart, and that is our seam, and that is where I'm gonna put the spine of this cover. This is made from, you know, just leftover packaging, so this is probably the only junk going in the junk journal. I'll just call it a memory keeping journal, because that's really what I'm designing here. Hope you guys are having a good day. We have a busy day ahead of us. I have to work. I have to take my son for a haircut, get my kids a couple of outfits for a trip, and my mom and Blossom are coming over for a visit. So yeah, we are definitely going to be busy. Okay, so now I'm committed. I'm fully committed. That will not come up. Not now, not ever. Okay, and now I'm going to take this and I'm going to just trim off some of the excess. I don't mind folding over quite a bit because it's just going to add to the stability, in my opinion, of the cover. So I'll leave quite a bit on there. Like that. Then I'm going to save these because these would be great for like matting photos or something, making flaps, things like that. Now we want to, and I know again, miter the corners. You don't have to leave this much paper around yours if you don't want it. And I'm not going all the way to the edge. I am leaving just a tiny bit of paper there. Y'all don't see me craft like this often, but I do know how. Really thanks to Debbie at Project 39 Mini Albums. She's the one I've watched the most and learned the most from when it comes to album making and things like this. I'm just kind of scoring along here so everything bends a little easier. You want to train your paper. And there we have it. All right, so now it's time for more tape. I'm gonna go ahead and bend my crease, my spine as well. So now see where I joined those two pieces of paper together, how it's on the spine of the book. So now if I just put a piece of paper there, which I always do when I make a cover like this, it'll cover up where those two pieces of paper join together. Hi, Jackie. Lindaville, did I say hello to you? I can't remember. Jackie, I didn't finish it. I kept trying to get Sparkle Heart to, I didn't want to just do it. You know, I wanted to be patient and give her time. And so it just is sitting in a back. I need to just finish it. I was trying to get her fully involved. I have all the pictures printed from our summer vacation. And I have the book made. You know, it's just a matter of gluing things in at this point, which is what I wanted her to help with, but she's just not into it. Maybe one day, maybe never. It is what it is. I was thinking about buying her one of the Instax cameras to see if that would help inspire her. You know, she was taking pictures and getting them instantly, but kind of just feels like another thing to have to lug around. Now I am going to go ahead and add some of my bookbinding glue here. This is the glue I use for everything, but it is a professional bookbinding glue. It's called Lineco PVA bookbinding glue. So it's obviously perfect for things like this. We're going to have a cover in no time. You know, I think sometimes it can be really intimidating to start a project like this. And the only thing I can say is you got to start somewhere. Don't be intimidated to start, and just take it step by step. And maybe make a few. 3 summers ago, I made 6 mini albums in one setting at one time, and I just did all of my covers at once. I did them in a mass making style. And I think that endeavor was where I just really got it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't question the process. I don't question myself making these covers anymore because I made 6 at once. I really kind of just like mentally cracked the code on I can do this. It's not hard. You just go step by step. And of course, if you're making a junk journal, you don't have to do this to make a cover. It's just a really nice place to start. I do too, Jackie. I do love the feeling of a covered journal. You know, me too. Valerie, hello. Happy Saturday to you and Oliver. I hope you guys have some fun planned today. I was so excited because my son's been asking me to schedule his haircut for like days, and I kept getting, I don't know, busy, distracted, all the things, you know. It was the wrong time when he would ask or remind me or whatever. So I was so happy today when I signed on to his barber's website and he had lots of time slots available. I was very delighted by that. Yeah, we're definitely down to the final countdown here. We've got this weekend and next weekend, and then we leave on Tuesday the 19th. So this is my last full week, which means we will be transitioning here on my channel from a lot of live content to recorded content. I hope you'll still watch. I hope I made a series is what I decided to do. And I hope it's something interesting. Plus we'll have Oso inspired during that time. Okay. This is probably excessive. It really is. It's not probably. It totally is excessive, but whatever. It'll be well made. Okay, now you can burnish everything in. Burnishing just, you know, means like flattening, and we're just kind of sealing the deal here. Now, to train your paper at this point, you can go along your spine better than I did just there. And kind of go ahead and score your spine lines. Now you can tell why I went ahead and bent it that first time, because you just want to kind of keep working your cover. But now we have a nicely covered journal to start with. And of course, I'm going to put more paper and more things on this. We've got to make a template for the spine to put in 3 signatures. We have some work here to do still. Yeah, Jackie, I am totally down with that. Like, Sparkle Heart is a paper crafter. She just doesn't make cards and journals, and she doesn't scrapbook and any of that stuff. She makes Barbie crafts. And they're amazing, and I fully support it. Okay, so the spine here is just under 2 inches. Let's see. I need to make a template real quick for my spine. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm just looking for a scrap piece of paper. I wonder if this one's about right. Almost, not quite. I'm gonna have to cut one. That one's, okay. So let's just do it the right way. Let me measure this. I don't know where all my rulers are. You know, I usually have all my metal rulers. They're not here right now. I can not tell what's going on with this ruler. What? Oh, it's a centering ruler. I was like, that makes no sense at all. Oh, that's not gonna work for me. Okay, let's just do this. Okay, my cover is just 7 5/8 tall. And I'm gonna do just under 2 inches wide. So I'm gonna grab a piece of paper and I'm gonna cut down a spine template with you guys. So just under 2 inches, I'm gonna put it about right there. Okay, and then 7 5/8. I have to be able to see it on that should be right. Let's see how I did. Pretty good. I think I need to trim it down a little more in the width. All right. Oh, he's so sweet. You know, he has a special place in my heart. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I do hope y'all have a great day, whatever you have planned. Okay, most important thing with your templates, I mean, right from the start, you want to establish your top. The top of your journal cover. Very important. Okay, so now we can be really precise. Take this measurement, divide it by 3 because we're putting 3 signatures, and get really precise, or we can do it my way. Let's do it my way. I'm going to fold this in half. And then I'm going to fold those pieces. I'll fold a little less than half. Most of the time, then you could fold that in half kind of thing. I'm going to go about 1/4 of the way, like that. And like that. And these should be, well, they're not. Should be just about the same. It'll be fine, is what it'll be. Okay, so now I'm going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and I have the distance between the holes for the height of the journal. And now for this part, I do want to be pretty accurate. So a T ruler I find to be my best friend during something like this, because then I know I can get my 3 holes straight. Okay, so I'm just going to eyeball this part though. I'm going to put a dot there. I'm going to put a dot there and a dot there, and then I'm going to move it over. I'll put a dot right there, and right there. And there we go. I would say that's a hack because you don't have as much measuring. You do need a T-ruler. And it's a way for me to kind of eyeball things, but get them still looking very like orderly. So now we have a template to put our holes in our journal. So I need 2 paper clips. To hold it in place. Now, like this journal is not, this journal cover is not decorated yet, so you could potentially, it's just black, you could potentially get confused about which way is your top or whatever. And again, that's why it's really helpful to have that. Plus, because, and this is the critical reason why you mark your top. Because I did not measure these perfectly, they're not exactly 1 inch from the top and or bottom and exactly 1 inch from the top. It's an approximation. There's some eyeballing here. That's why you wanted to go ahead and decide where your top is. And then when you are putting in your signature, you're going to do the same thing. And that way your holes line up. Otherwise, things can get off. So now we have our template made, we have our cover started, and we can move on to signatures. So let's do that. Let's pull out the paper that I chose. I chose this Magical Adventure, obvious reasons. And remember, you might remember, if you were here yesterday, we used these 4 sheets of paper to cut strips for my Snow Angel cards. Let me grab one. I haven't put them up yet. So I cut strips from these 4 sheets of paper to make these paper weaving on the background. They just so happen to be the right height for journal pages, so I saved them. And when we're at Disney, they have already decorated for Christmas. So it's going to be like Christmas vibes, even though we're going to be there at Thanksgiving. So I brought in those 4 sheets of paper. Then I want to add some of these. Now, this could work for a journaling page, but it's not necessarily ideal. Love this page, you know I do. Yellow is my favorite color and stars are my favorite symbol, but whatever. Because this is what the back looks like, I could use it as a journaling page, but it just doesn't. I've got a lot of options, so I'm going to skip that for now. I'm going to put this one to the side, and I can use these as cut aparts and decorate my journal with them. So I've got 2 sheets of that. I'm putting that to the side, and I'm going to pull out 1 each of these. So we've got cameras, polka dots, and some words. This one is my favorite. I'll probably use both of these. It's tickets and film strips. So I'm going to use both of those in my journal because we're going to have 3 signatures. And then I have flags and more polka dots. And then polka dots, polka dots, polka dots, and some stars. Yay! So I'm going to put all of those duplicates off to the side, except for the ticket one. And then it also has, this paper pack also came with all of these stickers, which is just so perfect. If you're looking for this one, it's Echo Park, and it's Magical Adventure is the name of the paper pack. So we've got our Magical Adventure. Let's pull a little bit out of this, our Travel Adventure from Cartabello, which is also Echo Park. Echo Park has warehouse sales, and I absolutely love their warehouse sales. And sometimes they do a mystery box too. I've gotten the mystery box once, and that was like Christmas. It was so fun. It was so fun. So I think that's where this one came from, actually. We're not taking a plane, we're driving, so I don't need anything with planes, and this has a lot of planes in it. We're not going abroad, we're staying right here. So this one might not work, I don't know. Let's look and see. We will pack things, and actually, this makes me think of Harry Potter. And I used to have like a Wizards, I think it's called Wizards and Broomsticks from Echo Park. It's like a Harry Potter inspired paper pack, but I think I used it all. So it may be that this just doesn't really work for us for this trip. Yeah, this one's not really gonna do it for me. It's got way too many planes. But hey, we tried. We got one sheet from it. Okay. Now, Alice in Wonderland. I bought a really pretty blue dress, and then I got the cutest Alice Disney ears to wear on one of our days at the park. And we're all fans of Alice around here in our house. So again, the cut aparts I'm going to put to the side. Oh my gosh, love that page so much. Put one of those in. More fabulous cut aparts. Oh yeah, that one's definitely going in. Let's look at the other side. More cut aparts. I'm not using cut apart pages as my journaling pages. I'm just not. Oh my gosh, but this next page, sorry, for sure I'm using that. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so it looks like that's it from this paper pack. It also has stickers. So the stickers I'm not going to use, and I'm not going to decorate these pages until we get back from our trip and I have pictures and keepsakes and memorabilia to put in it. Hi, Debbie Trapp. Hi, Heidi Robbins. Hello, Rose. And Jessie. Hi, Jessie. Oh, cool. Yeah, Rose. I think they just keep making this paper because all of us are like wanting it, needing it. I've had mine for at least a year or two, probably 2 years, because we've been wanting to take this trip. So I'm gonna just put all my paper back. Don't mind me, as I'm being a responsible little crafter and putting everything back. Taking care of my supplies. All right, so we're done with all of those. I do wish I had like more universal kind of themed papers, but I don't. And that's okay. Not everything has to be in a theme, because I'll have, you know, different things that I bring back and I can add in. And I'm going to have neutral pages in between these, okay? I'll put my tape up for now. So let's cut these down so that they can go inside of our journals. I'm going to cut all this paper down with you guys real quick. Then I'm going to grab tea-dyed paper, and that might be all that I put in, is just like scrapbook and tea-dye paper. I may not go like full on like junk journaling with like lots of different random types of paper, because that's not what this is. This is not a junk journal. Okay. So I'm going to cut my pages down to 7.5. And then It's a little shy of being 5 inches. It's not quite 5 inches. So I'm going to use my big paper trimmer, my heavy duty one, because it can cut multiple pages at one time. This is a Fiskars paper trimmer, and I can easily cut 3 sheets of this cardstock paper at a time, no problem at all. So this will be most efficient for us here. It doesn't fold. Oh boy. It's massive. It's so awesome. I do love this trimmer. It's not practical for me for like everyday use, but when I'm working on a project like this, there's just nothing better. I love it so much. Okay. All right. So I'm going to turn those. I'm going to cut these to 9 3/4 by 7 1/2. So let's take these. I'm going to fold one in half and see how it goes. See if I need to make any adjustments. I need to make it even shorter. I mean, not so wide. So the height is fine, but the width is too wide. So I'll do 9 1/2. Okay. This front page is going to be a little shorter just on this one because I had scored it at half before I cut it. So that won't matter. I like peekaboo pages, so that doesn't bother me at all. I need to cut this one off here too, I think. Let's see if I have the right. Let me fold this one in half and see if I have the right width. It doesn't have to be this kind of trial and error situation. You can just use your rulers and measurements better than I am. I'm going to cut it even more. We're going to do 9 1/4. That one's okay, but we're going to do 9 1/4. I think that's going to be about right for me. Yeah, that's better. Because what happens is as you add pages, they're going to stick out. I think I could go as low as 9 with some of these and still be good. So let me put these 3 to the side. My trial and error pages. Let's bring this one in. Cutting it down to just under 1 mark, under 7 1/2. And then I'm going to cut this down to 9. Yeah, let's go with 9 from now on. Put this trimmer to the test. It's like, no, thank you. I know. Sorry, trimmer. It's like, even I have my limits. Okay. All right, we're good now. Let's go. So with this page, anything directional, you have to think directionally when you're cutting down your papers. Non-directional, you don't have to worry about it. Directional, you do. So I want Alice and her friends to be vertically upright in my book. So this is going to have to be the height of my page. I'm happy to have a scrap like that laying around. Okay, now here, I know that I want my pages to be 4.5 wide. What I can do is leave this at 12, and then I can fold pieces over. So let's say I fold that right there. And then I get out a different trimmer. I'm just gonna lay it on top of this one. This one has a scoring and a cutting tool. Has this one for cutting, this one for scoring. And I'm gonna score this page to 4.5. Whew, sounded like it almost cut through it. I think it did almost cut through it. And now this will fit, should fit. Why did that not work? Well, it didn't. That's okay. We'll just fold this one over too. I think my measurements were off. I don't know how, but they were. So now I have two totally different, I like pages like this though, where you've got different widths. So this one's the same width as our other pages, but this one's not. It's shorter. And I like that because then you can see other patterns peeking through. That's what I mean by peekaboo pages. So let's keep going. Let's do it again. Hi, Cordelia. Hi, Maritza. How are you? I hope y'all are well. I hope everyone's doing great today. Height. Now this one is kind of non-directional because Alice is going all the ways. And let's, I mean, what are these? I thought these were 4.5. I'm going to check myself. They're under 4.5. Okay. Don't want to cut it. And I don't need to bear down so hard with the scoring tool either. So now we've got, that's the width of our page. Why don't we fold this one back? And it can be a fold out. I love books that fold out. Do y'all like fold out pages in books? I do. I love them. So we're going to have one in this book. That'll be fun. Let me go ahead and cut down a few. I'm going to cut down all of my pages on here, and then we'll finish up pages with this one. Let's do that. I still have quite a few to cut down. And some of these are super thick. Cartabella paper is incredible. It's texturized and it's really thick. I love Cartabella paper. Do y'all like it? Yes, this cuts chipboard like a dream. I absolutely love it. I consider this an investment piece of, you know, an investment tool. I can cut through chipboard, cereal box, lots of paper. It's just amazing. Like I'm doing 3 sheets of, you know, sturdy cardstock at a time. My eyes are playing tricks on me, you guys. You can alter the height of your pages too, but maybe we'll do that with our tea-dyed pages and not necessarily with these. I mean, we could. Let's just do a couple. Let's just do these 2 pages. We'll do them at 7. So they'll be a little shorter than our others. Okay, that is it for my, you know what? Hold on. When I grabbed my 12 by 12 paper to cover my journal with, I grabbed too much. Let's use some. I think it'd be really fun to use like my Ohuhu acrylic markers and journal on black paper, like a chalkboard, you know? I've never added black pages to a journal, but I think this is going to be fun. Let's do it. It's my journal. I can make it. That's the power of making your own journals. You can make them exactly the way you want, or in this case, experiment and try new things. I'm going to go ahead and cut this one down to our, I think we had decided on 9. Okay. Well, that'll be fun. That'll be something different. There's a lot of black kind of in this Disney pack. It's magical adventure pack. All right. I can put this one away. And let's get out the smaller, more practical trimmer for the little stuff. Amalia, hi. How are you, dear? So good to see you this morning. I hope you're doing well. Now I'm just going to burnish my folded score lines for these pages, and those are done. You guys, I kind of want to add in a couple of floral pages kind of at the beginning of this for the wedding, because the wedding is the first thing that we're doing on the trip. And then we're going to all the theme parks. So I kind of want to add in a couple of really pretty pages. It's a beach wedding in West Palm Beach. I kind of want to add in a couple of pages for that. So we'll figure that out too. And I need to bring in my tea-dyed paper. I think I'm going to use the stuff that I got in Happy Mail. Let's count how many cardstock pages we have. Plus, I know I'm going to add in at least 2 more. So we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 17 plus, yeah, so about, okay. So I need at least about 15 pages of tea dye paper. I don't know if this, the only thing, now I'm rethinking this, I might have to use my tea dye paper because I want to use some that is acid free and archival. And I put a little sodium bicarbonate or baking soda in my solution so that it's archival safe. So hold on. It's not, mine is not as deeply colored as Angela's. I like hit and miss tea dye. I learned that from Desiree when she sent me a journal that had hit and miss tea dye. So, but I know that this one is archival safe. So I'm going to use this one. Okay, I think that should be enough. You don't have to do that, but the thing is this, I'm making a kind of a memory journal for our vacation, which I know is going to have a lot of pictures in it, and you know, maybe my kids will want it. I know Dee Dee often talks about, like, she spent 20 years scrapbooking for her family and nobody wants the scrapbooks. It makes me so sad. So, you know, there's always that possibility, but at least I'll know that it should be archival safe. All right, let's cut this down. I'm going to cut these a little shorter. My tea dye papers are going to give me just a little peekaboo. I'm going to cut these down to 8.5. Oh, I'll cut my next ones different. Okay. So now that I'm making this decision on the fly, the way I just cut them, I had all these scraps. We're going to change it up. We're going to have a different set of scraps this next time. I'm going to go ahead and fold these, because if your dimensions are pretty close to being the same, which they are on here, it's really easy to get confused and have to remeasure things as far as what is the height and what is the width. So I'm just going to now fold these so I don't confuse myself later. If, you know, the width of your pages is much wider than the height, or vice versa, it doesn't get confusing, but when they're really close, it can get confusing. Okay, so let's cut this next batch a little differently. We are making a 3 signature journal here, start to finish. It's the way I like to do it. I like to do the whole process live. I just think that it's hopefully more enriching for you guys and more approachable. If you see me make a whole journal, start to finish from the very beginning, then maybe it makes you feel like you can do it too. Okay, so this paper is 8.5 by 11, and I was cutting it down to 8.5 by just under 7.5. So what I'm going to do is on the 8.5 inch side, I'm going to leave that. On the 11 inch side, I'm going to cut it down to just our 7.5 measurement. And now this is going to be my scrap. And these will be my pages. I really like to get the most out of my paper. I know I'm a 5x7 card maker, and that bothers some people because you can only get one card base from one sheet of paper, but I am wise about the way I cut my paper all the time. So the fact that I can only get one card base really doesn't bother me, because when I use my paper otherwise, I'm getting the most from it every time. So, and I just prefer a 5x7 card to make. But there, now, that is a better way to cut it. The scraps, I think, will be more usable. Okay, let's do it again. So again, on the 11 inch side, I'm cutting down to my just under 7.5. And then I'm just going to turn and fold on the 8.5 inch side. This one's crispy. Hi, Tanisha. Hi, Sonia. How are y'all? I'm so glad you're well, Amalia. Hey, Beckon. How are you, dear? I'm making a 3 signature journal that is like mostly Disney, but it's for our upcoming travels. And right now I'm just cutting down the last of my paper to make the signatures. We already have the cover covered. And now we're just doing the signature papers, and we'll be sewing it together and doing some decorating. There's going to be so much space for journaling in this thing. We might have to go multiple times. All right. Okay, tea-dyed paper is all cut up. We are good to go there. Some of our pretty papers are cut and ready to go. We just need to finish them. Okay, so let's do that. All right, so I have 2 short. These are my shorter pages. I'm gonna make them like super short. I'm gonna make them shorter in height and width. Well, I think it's shorter in width. Not much. Well, this one can be shorter. Just cut a little more off. Yeah, I like that better. Let's cut a little more off of this one. Obviously, I'm not measuring because I don't have to. It's like the freedom of making your own journal. You don't have to measure. All right. If you don't want to, I'm going to cut these at, again, I'm going to go a little shorter. I'm going to go 8 3/4 for my width. The height is already, we've already cut the height down. Ooh, I have a feeling this journal is going to be chunky. She's going to be thick, just like me. All right. Just around the middle. The middle's so hard, especially when you have a sweet tooth. All right. Cut this one down. I think I'm going to make this one shorter too. We're going to have so many fabulous scraps. Aww. Quincy Jones passed, you guys. That made me so sad. If you like autobiographies, I love autobiographies. I like reading people's stories. But if you're ever looking for a good autobiography, Quincy Jones autobiography called Q. I've read it twice. It's just so good. But an absolute legend. I don't know if that's who you're talking about, Sonia, right now, but yes, Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones, Quincy Jones, Quincy Jones. All right. Such a good book. Okay. I don't know if it's on Audible. You might be able to listen to it. That's how I read these days. I have to read a lot all day long at work. So for me, I'm done reading. I don't read that much anymore in my personal life because I read so much at work. All right. We did it. We have a ton of signature pages to choose from here. Oh, you know what? I know. I hear you. Y'all are like, what about your beachy wedding paper? Let me grab some beachy wedding paper. This might take a minute. Okay, it's not exactly beachy, but it'll work. It's pretty. I think it'll work. We'll just use this. Somebody's calling me. Can we all guess who it is? You know who it was. It was my husband. Bless his heart. He'll figure it out one day, y'all. He'll figure it out one day. Miss Melissa, I haven't seen you in a while. Hi, Alyssa. Melissa and Alyssa. Hello, hello. All right. We are making a journal today for those just joining. I'm getting the last 3 pages for my signatures right now. And we're going to put this sucker together. Okay, let's do 8.5. Gosh, this paper is so pretty, you guys. This is the ones I chose, by the way. So pretty. Okay, it's either die cuts with a view. I think it's die cuts with a view. I just ripped the pages out of a paper pad and put it back on my shelf. So it's one less thing I have to put away later. Your girl needs to clean her craft room. Alrighty then. Let's do this. Let's do this. I think I cut way more paper than I needed. Don't you think? I mean, I'm just putting it in here because, like, hello, we've got to save space for pictures and things. I can't put all that paper in here, but hey, we got options and choices. That's always nice. All right, let's do this. The wedding is the first thing we're doing. So I'm going to put the wedding up, yeah. Besides the 18-hour drive. Yuck. The wedding comes first. And I'm just going to alternate. I think that'll make my brain happy later. And then, after the wedding, we're going to see Wicked. I didn't really put paper in here for Wicked. I don't know if I have any paper for Wicked, but that is the next thing we're going to do. Ooh, let's put these butterflies. Okay. And I am putting solid black paper in my journal. I think it's going to be fun to journal on that with like acrylic pens and gel pens and stuff. I think that'll be fun. Let's put the stars here. Didn't I have some paper with film on it? Where's that paper? Right there. That could work for Wicked. Let's put that over here. And then let's put the closest thing I had to Harry Potter paper next. Okay, this is full. I can't put more than that in there. It's going to be so chunky. This is going to be an alligator mouth if I'm not careful. Look, I like everybody else to have an alligator mouth if that's what they want, but I don't necessarily like them for me personally. Okay, so there's that. And the only reason is storage. That is the only reason. They're more difficult to store. So the signature's done. Jumbo clips. When you're clipping your signature together, make sure your spine is nicely tucked in. Okay, so one done. Next. All right. I'm going to use this Christmas paper next. Then I think I will put my black piece here. I think the this will be my centerpiece. So let's grab, I need to be selective now because I don't think I have room for everybody. Not everybody can come to the party. So that one's gonna throw that one out. I think we'll do that for that signature. It's a little thinner than our first signature. I may have to go back through my first signature and weed some of it out. First of it, fall, it's only 12 days, so I don't need hundreds of pages. One way around it, if you want hundreds of pages, is just make the spine of your journal cover wider. So we're working with like a 2-inch spine. If you make it 3 or 4 inches, you can definitely add more paper, right? This one I feel like we might have to take a little out. I'm going to take out these first 2 pages. It's hard when you like them all. That makes it harder. Okay, I'm going to take out another. Take out this group. Okay, I was able to take 4 pages out, so we'll just do a couple like that. And then what do these look like back here? Cool. Yeah, that can work. And you might think, well, 4 pages, that's not very much, but it does make a difference, especially over 3 signatures. Okay, so signature 1, signature 2 are done. Now they're a little wider right now because they got the paper clips in, but yeah, that's looking like it's gonna work. Let's do our last signature. Well, we all know I love this paper. Hi, Miss Paula Rice. Hey, Flo. How are y'all? Hi, So Much Glitter. Hi, Carrie. I hope y'all are doing well. We're making a journal today. Ooh, I like that page. Let's put that page in there. Gotta have our fold-out page in there. That's fun. Let's just leave it at that. Okay. We're just gonna leave it at that. I'm not worried about counting pages. You can count and have even signatures and all of that jazz. Sometimes I do that kind of thing, but today I'm just going with the flow and putting in what I want to put in and leaving it at that. All right. We have 3 signatures, so let's get them sewn in. It's going to go 1, 2, 3. And here is our cover. Still going to be pretty close to an alligator mouth. That's okay. All right, here's what we need to do. We have our template to make our holes in the cover. We now need a template to make the holes in the signature. So I'm going to grab this scrap piece of paper, the scrap piece of tea dye paper. I'm going to come over here I want it the height of my journal. I need to mark a T for the top. Okay, got to always mark the top. Just so important. Okay, now I'm just gonna kind of eyeball this. I'm gonna make a spot. Well, actually, I'll just do it real close. Do a spot right here, one right here, and one right here. Okay. Now, everything will line up. So we know the top of our journal pages. Always, when you're working with a lot of signatures, you might want to flip back through and make sure you have everything upright. It's always nice when your pages aren't upside down. We're going to take our template. See why it's important that the height be the same? So now we can line this up and make our dots. Doesn't matter what kind of pen you use. I'm just keep pulling out this Dollar Tree acrylic marker. And I'm just kind of making it even because my journal is taller than my pages. And I'm going to put a dot right there, a dot right there, and a dot right there. Okay. Next. This one. I'm going to check my pages, make sure everything is upright. There aren't too many directional ones in here, just Alice and her friends. So that's the top. So that's the top. Put that in here. See, I do know how to make multiple signature journals. I just don't do it very often. I like a small single signature journal that I can fill up quickly. All right, last one, top. Yep, okay. Okay, put this one in. A dot right there. Dot right there. And a dot right there. Can I see them? Yes. Good. It's always helpful when you can see things. All right. We have so got this. Yes, you can actually get the jumbo paper clips at Hobby Lobby now. Thank you, Carrie. You can get them, I think it's like $1.99 for some number of them. Mindless Crafting sometimes has them in their shop. So when you're shopping at Mindless Crafting, you might look and see if they have them in stock. Whoops, this is the front. This is the order of things. Okay. You don't have to do what I do, but I like to sew my back signature in first, then my second, and then my first. Some people want to start at the beginning and do the first, second. I don't know. There's probably somebody who wants to sew in the middle signature, although I can't imagine it. I like to sew in the back signature first. So you do you, whatever makes you happy. It's fantastic. So get my little sewing kit, book binding kit out. Oh, but you know, more jumbo clips, my favorite. All some needles. We need to pick some thread. You know, decision time. I think I'm gonna do it. So let's see. First of all, let's pick our thread color. I'm going to just do a dark brown for this. Your thread needs to be 3 lengths of your book if you're doing a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. That is, to me, the easiest way to remember it. If you're doing a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, you need 3 lengths of your signature, right? 3 and 3, just kind of makes sense. Let's do blue for Alice. Okay. Blue for Alice. Let's do spicy red for this one. Okay. Because why not? What I was like trying to decide, you guys, and I think I made my decision, is if I was going to sew and make my holes into this, or if I'm going to sew, make my holes into another piece and glue it in, and that's what I'm going to do. So my cover I can put to the side for now. Now I need a piece of chipboard. Doesn't have to be super thick or anything. Sorry, I'm just looking through my scraps real quick, because I actually keep scraps of chipboard. I know. Telling y'all, I don't mind using one sheet of paper per card base because I can serve and save in so many other ways. Like this Fruit Loops. Any normal, sane person would recycle this. I think, oh, that'll work for a book spine. And it will. This is like the perfect width for us here today. So just trim this down. Perfect. Now I will recycle this, okay? Okay. Let's do this. This is going to be our spine that we sew everything into. And to be honest, I think it's, for me anyways, easier to sew into these versus the whole cover. And it looks more finished in the end. Okay, so now I'm going to take my awl and poke my holes. Hold on. Hold the phone. This is my top. If you think I'm a little obsessive about marking the top of things, I am. And it's because I've made enough journals to know if you don't, it's just kind of a recipe for disaster. Okay. So now we have this piece, right? This is our base. Gotta have some base. And this will show inside of our journal when we glue it down. So let's cover it with some paper right now. I have lots of scraps to choose from. I think I really like this one. I wonder if these aren't tall enough. No, that's too short. I'm gonna have to choose one of these. I like this blue one. I'm gonna choose this blue one. It's a few extra steps, but it gives you a more finished look. And if you're making something like heirloom or, you know, archival, you're going to want a more finished look. So let's get this down on there. I'm going to put my tape actually on this piece that already has my holes, and here's why. I don't want my tape getting in to those holes. That would cause me problems later when I go to stitch. But I also really want this to stick. All right, we should be good there. Hey, Kim, good morning. Hi, Denise, good morning. Yeah. Yeah, I've got bookshelves everywhere. I am a book collector. I don't even read them all. My mom's always given me a hard time about that. But books go out of print. And sometimes I just want to thumb through them. A lot of my books. I mean, like 75% of my books are art books, for one. So I get to just look through them. I don't have to read them. Okay, so obviously avoiding all of the holes that we have in here. Now placing this on top and covering that. Yay. That will look so much better in our book than my Fruit Loop packaging. And you should, like, in an ideal world, let this dry and stuff. But we're in a live, so we're going to do it like this. I'm sitting here as I poke these holes and I'm thinking about the cover. See? Glad it has the top back there. See? Okay, here we go. Now I know that this is the top because my paper's directional, so that's what tells me is the top about these. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. This is my back one, so I'm going to do it first. I'm going to go back and find those holes that we poked through or marked, and I'm going to poke through them. I'm going to grab the red thread because that's what I had designated for this signature. Now on a binding like this, you want to always start on the inside of your book because you don't want to finish on the outside. Wherever you start is where you end when you're binding your book. So if you start inside the journal, like we're going to do, then you're going to end inside the journal. Yep, I'm flipping it over. I'm checking one more time that this is the top and that's the top of my page before I get started here. And now I'm going to bind into the spine. right here. I'm gonna come back through here. I don't always do it like this, but you can if you want to. Now here I'm just being careful not to split my thread. The problem with splitting your thread, and what that means is your needle going through the thread that's in there already, is that you cannot tighten your pages. You cannot tighten your binding, and that's not good. You want your binding as tight as you can get it so that your book doesn't slip up and down and fall out. So right here, you're wanting, see that's loose? That's no bueno. You do not want that at all. You've got to tighten that up. There we go. Okay, so that's tight, that's tight. Okay, I think we're good. Right there. Now, obviously, I have a lot of extra thread I don't need. This part is always the part that tricks me, is reversing my knot for that third knot. It's like if your brain's been tying a knot one way your whole life and then you try to reverse it, tricky business. All right, it's so good for your brain neurologically though. I heard that yesterday. Like if you brush your teeth with your right hand, to brush your teeth with your left hand. It's good for your brain, apparently. Okay, let's see if I did it right. I've got the top, and I've got the top of my journal in. And we're on our way, friends, and it's nothing's loose. It's very, very tight. Let's do it again. Put those away back in their box. You know what? I found these blue ones at a yard sale for 25 cents. Man, if you ever find a yard sale, teachers' yard sales are my favorite as a paper crafter. Teachers just have fun stuff. Oh no, it stopped. Okay. No, Kim, you're not getting here for the ending. We're putting together a whole journal, so you are good. But if you want to see the full process of me making this 3 signature journal, then you got to go back to the start. Okay. This is for our upcoming trip. I'm making a kind of memory book journal. Just checking the tops of my page again. Top, top, top. Okay. Now, with this kind of journal, it's real critical you get things right. And here's why. Because I'm going to glue this into the cover. And it won't be one of those, a lot of times when you make journals and you sew your signatures directly into the cover, if something goes awry, you can just clip out the thread and start over. With a journal like this, you can't do that. It's all glued in. There's no changing things up. It's permanent. It's done. I want one of my threads on each side of the center string. There we go. Like so. Yeah, I did. I ran that through a little differently. Okay. Oh, see, you got to check the back. That was looped up here, which means this is incredibly loose, which means our signature is definitely not tight. There we go. That would be a recipe for disaster. Okay, we're good. You don't want to pull so tight that you tear your paper, but you do want to make sure everything's nice and secure. I am using waxed linen thread. You don't have to, but it is my preferred thread personally. And I like a bow, but you don't have to tie a bow. I just think it's kind of fun to open up the middle of my book and there's a bow inside. Okay, 2 signatures down. Everything's lining up nicely. Last one, top of our page, top of the morning. There we go, all good. Okay. Gotta poke the holes that were already marked when we made our template. You guys, an hour and a half is how long we've been crafting. And we're about to have a whole book. Isn't that amazing? These things don't have to take 10 years. I mean, if you want it to take 10 years, go ahead. You do you. But you can literally make a book in an hour and a half. And this is like a 3 signature. I don't know what I was just doing. This is a 3 signature book. So you can make a 3 signature one in an hour and a half. Get started now if you want to make journals for friends and family for Christmas. And you could certainly do it. I know you have paper if you're watching this video. You have paper because that's what we play with around here. That's all you need. Your journal can be any size you want it, any number of signatures. You can bind it in lots of different ways. If you've been here with me for a while, you already know I've shown you so many different ways to bind journals, and not even all of them because I don't do anything complicated. I'm not going to do a complicated stitch or binding on a journal. Some people do and it's cool and everything, but no, not me. I'm just not going there. That takes all the joy out for me. Okay, I'm trying not to split my thread. And I did. Okay, it's really going to be hard for me to show you, but I did split my thread. But I think I can fix it. So take my needle off, and right here is where I split it. I can see it. It's going through the other piece, and fix it. Bam. No big deal. Okay, again, making sure it's tight. I see that this is the top. My paper is going the right direction. Everybody's good. Everyone's in their places. So now I'm going to tie this together. That's a great idea, Cordelia. Always go to the library. Yeah, Maddie, what is up with that? These things fall apart every time you use them, and yet I'm back to them. My other ones are right there. I don't know what it is. My brain, I don't know. Here's my new ones that I love so much. Let's use them. Okay. We did it. And I say we did it because we did. We did it together. Going to the library is fun. And bonus, a lot of libraries have free books and magazines up at the front. And you can pick those up and collage with them. Just saying. Or make junk journals out of them. There we go. And just like that, we are going to glue this in. So I'm going to use, it is my husband again. Somebody tell that man I'm in lives on Saturday morning. Bless his heart. Okay. We're going to use a ton of glue, a ton of double-sided tape to put this into the journal. So this is why it really matters that we were so careful with everything as we were picking things out, because now the deal is done. There's no backsies. That's it. We've got double-sided tape on it. You can't change the stitching. You can't go back. No backsies. Before I glue this in, I will put down my inside cover. So I'll put this back on. I needed to remove this so that I could put tape all over that thing. Okay, so before I fix that into this journal, you know, I want to put my backing paper here. What will my backing paper be? I don't know. Whoopsies. I kind of want, I know what I want. Because it's me, and y'all won't be surprised by this. I want the flowers. Where are the flowers? From this Alice pack. I think I want this. It might kind of clash with that first wedding page that we have going on here. It does a little bit. It does clash a little with that page. Hold on, there's a blue one. When I say a blue one, what I mean is a blue flower. Let's look at that. That might be a better choice. Yeah, it is. We'll find a place for those red flowers. We'll go with this blue. The thing is that paper I chose for the wedding is just not, it doesn't fit with the vibe of the rest of the album. That's the problem. Okay. No worries though. I'm not technically going to measure this. I'm just going to kind of mark it and cut. So I'm going to grab a pencil. I'm going to mark it here. I'm going to cut there. Then I'm going to cut over here. Just kind of eyeballing it. Alrighty. I'm obviously not mathing today if I don't have to. It is a Saturday after all. Shouldn't have to do math on a Saturday. There we go. Bam, that works. So let's put that down. Do you suppose she's a wildflower? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. That's a good question. Flo was asking if there's certain genres. What kind of genres of books do you guys like to read? I love autobiographies. I already said that. And I've always liked, honestly, most of my life, I really just liked learning when I read. So a lot of the books I would read would be like how-tos and about different things, you know, like all about aromatherapy, all about whatever, herbs, flowers, gardening. Obviously, I already said like 75% of my books are art books, so there's that. And cultures. I studied anthropology in school, so I love reading about different cultures and adventure novels. Like it's a whole genre of travel, right? And adventure, that kind of thing. I have lots of good memories of the library too. My mom was the city secretary in our town for a number of years. And the librarian would open up early for her. And whoops, that one didn't release the paper. And I'd be with her because she'd be taking me to school. We'd always have to leave early because she'd want to stop by the library. And my mom could read a book in a day. So she kind of had like an insatiable appetite for reading. And the librarian knew that. And so like twice a week, we'd stop by the library early. And she'd usually have books from my mom already ready. And I'd get to pick one out. And then she'd take me to school. Fond memories. I also was a rebel. Surprised to no one here. Rebel without a cause, though, very much in high school. Children, if you're listening, don't pay any attention to this. I got kicked out of a couple of classes for an entire year. And the librarian and the art teacher took me on. And so one period every day, I would be in the library fixing and repairing books. So like So many times I laugh that I'm a card maker and junk journaler because it's like, I've been doing this stuff. I should have known. But anyways, I would be in the library fixing books and putting books away. I did all that kind of stuff. I learned a lot. That was a lot of fun. I actually really enjoyed it. And then I was my art teacher's assistant. And me and one of the teachers that had kicked me out for the year, we ended up making up. We ended up being close by the time I graduated high school. Look, I come from a very rebellious bunch. Don't really know what else to tell you. It's not good. I'm not proud of it. But it is the truth. Thank goodness my children aren't like that. Okay, just trying to train my book here. I'm not proud of that. I was just lucky enough that I was able to test out of my classes and get my credits and graduate and not get thrown off course too much. Actually, I just got kicked out of one class for the year. The other situation was band. I had joined band and I really wanted to play the saxophone and the teacher wouldn't let me. She tried to make me play the trumpet and I hated the trumpet. And eventually I just quit. I just didn't enjoy it. And so I had one class that I had dropped out of because I didn't want to play the trumpet, and the other one I had gotten kicked out of. So that's how I ended up with 2 free periods. I just had to test out of one, and then they gave me credit for the other. I am no role model. Let's make sure I put the top in right as I tell these horror stories of my past. I was never on, you know, even though I was rascally in that way, I never did the other things that some high schoolers get into. So now, sorry, we just went down that path, but I have my book built. And I need to let it dry. But it also has that double-sided tape, so that's how I'm able to work with it like I am. And I'm just burnishing it down, but we just built a really fun book. Of course, I want to finish covering it, but it's really pretty. I like it. I think it's going to be fun to record our family vacation in here. Everybody will have a place to write if they want to write. We can add pictures. How fun is this? I love it. And it's got like a little dab of Christmas in it since the parks are decorated for Christmas already. And then we've got our fold out page. Yay. I only did one fold out page. Oh, I think it's so fun, you guys. So Cordelia likes historical fiction. Oh, that's fun. Fantasy, science fiction. Have you read the Court of Thorns or whatever? I don't know what that is classified as. Where do I find the large needles? Maddie, I get them in a kit on Amazon. So on Amazon, you can get a kit and it comes with like a container like this of large needles, and it'll come with an awl. This is my favorite awl. If you're going to get one, this is the one I recommend. I do not recommend either of these. I don't like this one because I feel like it tears up my pages. I don't know why. I just feel that way. I think because it's not smooth here. And then this one is just lame. It's hard to poke through. This, you'll see these 3 different awls, and this is the one. This is the winner here. So you can get a kit for like $7.99, and it'll come with thread, it'll come with needles, it'll come with an awl. It's a bookbinding kit. If you just look up bookbinding kit, you'll find them on Amazon. And I bought one that came with this so that I'd have a place to store it and keep it on my desk with all the other things I keep on my desk. If you already have an awl and you already have the other things, then you can probably just buy the needles separately. But if you're just getting started, I recommend the kit. Aww. Yeah, I have such fond memories. Cartabella has Mary Poppins papers. Oh gosh, no, I did not know that, Paula. Oh my gosh. No, I love Mary Poppins. I almost did straight up cosplay of Mary Poppins for this trip, but I stopped myself because I have teenagers and I don't want to embarrass them. They might not walk through Disney with me if I'm cosplayed as Mary Poppins. And I'm not practically perfect, obviously. We all know that now. I'm practically average in every way, and I'm good with that. Okay, so I'm catching up to what y'all are chatting about. And then I think what we need to do is decorate the cover and spine. What do y'all think? Are y'all up for it? How long have we been on here? I don't know. I can never see the time. Oh, I started at 8, so almost 2 hours. Yeah, let's just go for it. Let's decorate this. It's hard because I don't really know. I have all these amazing scraps now. Wow. I have all these amazing scraps now. None of them will work. I mean, maybe one of them would work for the spine if we wanted a different kind of spine. But let's go through the full pages and I have to decide if I'm going to do Alice or Magical Adventure. I feel like I should do Magical Adventure. See what we have to work with. Ooh, you know, I like the stars. I like the polka dots. I want kind of like a basic background that then I can add like, you know, pictures and decorate. So we can do stars, or we can do polka dots, or we can do both. And let's do that. So I think I'm going to use the stars first. And I'm going to trim these down and do panels, I think. Hi, Shay. How's it going? Let's see. Guess who's coming today? Well, Grandma's coming. And so is Blossom, Princess Buttercup. She's coming to visit. I can't wait to see her. And my mom, of course. But my mom was just here for our dinner party the other night. And she did not bring Buttercup because we didn't have Buttercup kind of energy. We had like 10, 12 people coming. We couldn't have Buttercup up in here. So she's coming today. All right. I know I just did this, but you know, measure twice, cut once. Am I right? I do 7 1/4. By 4 1/4, and let me double check myself again. I do a little more than 4 1/4. All right, just a little. So the cereal box isn't the most sturdy box in the world, but by the time you've added like all the paper that we've been adding, you can tell it's gonna thicken up. Okay. So glad I checked. It doesn't like really matter too much right now because we don't have directional paper, but still it's good to know the orientation of things. That needs to be trimmed down more. And then these are going to go up here like this. I like it. How do you get kicked out of a class? You're very disrespectful to the teacher. That's how. I mean, look, not by today's terms, okay? I was disrespectful by, you know, 80s terms, which is a completely different thing. Because you would not speak to a teacher the way the kids speak to teachers today. I know that because my mom works in the school. Yeah. I really just said one. Okay, I think I was kind of, well, I was rebellious and maybe a little disruptive. And one day, my tongue got the best of me and she kicked me out. I don't know. That's just what happened. I really don't even remember what I said. And like I said, like later we became close to one another. I'm going to keep the spine the same. I was thinking about doing that, but I'm not going to. And she was like, I think I overreacted. And I was like, well, I should have been more respectful. I ended up in her class again before I graduated high school. She was an algebra teacher. And she ended up being one of my favorite teachers. And I will not say that I was her favorite student, but we really got along. So we mended that. But she did say, "I'm sorry. I think I overreacted." And I just owned up to it. I mean, I ended up enjoying myself, so I wasn't mad about it. And I tested out. There's a university here in Texas where you can test out and get credits if you need to, and that's what I did. So I just took the test, passed the class, got my credits, and got to hang out in the library all year. So that was kind of nice. Hi, Nima. I'm catching up, y'all. I'm gonna catch up. I like the stars. What do y'all think? I like the stars. And then, where's the other blue piece? Here it is. I kind of liked this blue piece too. Like we could mat this blue piece on there as well. My parents were appalled, but at the same time, they had raised rascally brothers. Look, like I said, I came from a very rascally crew. You know what? I'm thinking I might be able to use a scrap. Let's use a scrap. I don't know why I like this blue so much, but I do. I like this blue polka dots. And it'll kind of break up the stars. Oh, you have read the series, Cordelia? Did you like it? I tried listening to it on Audible and I couldn't get into it, but sometimes for me it's the voices. I know it's not the book. Sometimes it's the performance of the readers that keep me from getting into books. So then I kind of like earmark those as like, well, maybe I'll go back and that'll be a book, you know, that I read on my own time, kind of thing. Now, I have to decide if I want to. I think I'll leave the back. I think I'll leave the back just all stars, and I'll just use this polka dot on the front. What does this measure? Okay. And I'm not going to decorate the front of this until I get back because, you know, I might want to put a family picture on the front or something like that. So I'm not gonna put anything other than this on the front right now. Hey there, Mary. There's nothing average. Well, I don't know. Maybe there is. I feel pretty average, which isn't a bad thing, right? I don't feel normal, but I feel average. I am dressing up. I'm going to be dressed up in Peter Pan and and I almost said Heidi Robbins, and I'm dressing as you, Heidi. No, I'm dressing as Alice. Now, these are like Alice inspired and Peter Pan inspired. So I got a really cool map of Neverland shirt. And then I got these really cute, like olive green cargo pants. And then I have like a tan little blazer to go over it. So it's going to be like inspired outfits. And then I'll go get it. I'll get my Disney ears that I got to wear with it. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And I grabbed my water. I don't know how I've been here doing this live without my water. Okay. I got these. Yay! So these are to go with my Peter Pan outfit. And then I cannot wait to show y'all my Alice ears. They're supposed to be here today. The Alice ones are phenomenal, but these are great for my little Peter Pan outfit. So then, yeah. So that's what I'm doing. Oh, Mary, I'm glad she caught some of my crafting confession. I'm good, Shay. I'm hanging in there. Oh, is it one of those books? I don't know. I don't do romance novels really. Is it like a romance book? And there's nothing wrong with them. I don't know. It's just a genre I've never gotten into. I might now that I'm older. I don't know. Never say never, right? Back talking. Yes, Roseanne, that's exactly how you get kicked out. Back talking. Hey, I learned a lot from that. I might have learned more by getting kicked out of that class than I would have if I stayed. You know, God allows those opportunities for us to learn and grow. I think that was God allowing me an opportunity to be a better person, and it worked. Way to go, God. You got this figured out. Okay. And, you know, my kids would never. It's so funny. Like, I'm just blessed. I hate when the description for a book doesn't include the fact that it's really a romance novel. Yeah. Oh, go get your coffee, Cordelia. Yes, he does, Roseanne. And he knows, he knows, he knows. And it's hard to go through our lessons sometimes. But after that, you guys, that was like I was a ninth grader. That was my ninth grade year. I became a straight A student. I was on student council. You know, I spoke at our graduation. I was a good student. I needed that. I needed that one experience to get me in line for the, you know, for me to pick a side. It was like, are you gonna be a rebel for good, or you got to be on the dark side? You know, that kind of thing. So let's look through this and then I'll let you guys go. You know what I used to like? I used to like, hey TR, I used to really like mystery novels. I liked Mary Higgins Clark when I was in high school. I read every one of her books. I used to like mystery. So I have a journal. I'm really, I cannot tell you how excited I am about the black pages of all things. I never thought to put those in my journal. Now, obviously, there can be tucks and flips and all kinds of things added to this, but we'll do all that later when I come back. I'm going to be picking up as much paper memorabilia as I can, you know, on our trip. So I'll come back with stickers and postcards and things like that to add into here is the plan. Yes, I even think of paper crafting on vacation. Flo, was it you? I don't know who it was, but they wanted to see my crafty bug out bag. I have shown it on my channel before. I'll have to come back. I've shown it a couple of times. I'll have to come back and show that. I need to get that ready for the trip, but I will definitely be taking my little crafty bag with me. It basically has like a mini paper trimmer. It has glue, scissors, and then I make myself like little card kits or whatever to take on the go so I can craft a little if I want. You know, I wake up super early every morning, earlier than everyone else in my house. So there will definitely be time for such things. One of the hotels we're staying at is so lovely and like their pool is amazing. So I can imagine myself just going and hanging out by the pool too. In the early morning hours, having a cup of tea by the pool and just chilling before the day gets going. Here's our one fold out page. I can always make more fold out pages. But there we go. That is my little journal. I can take it with me on the trip with my bug out bag, and we can journal as we go too. I can journal and leave space to add pictures or whatever and collect my ephemera. So it could travel with me. It's definitely small enough. It's like not too small. It's just the right size. That was a good pasta box. The purchase that keeps on giving. So that's it. We did it. I know it doesn't look too like magical yet, but that's just because it doesn't have the pictures and stuff like that in it. But that was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm excited. I already have like my first, you know, souvenir from my trip, and I haven't even left yet. So maybe next time y'all are planning to maybe go see your grandchildren and you have to travel for that, or go on your vacation, or maybe before Christmas gets started, you could make yourself a December daily and make yourself a book to write and record in. That would be so fun. These really are like great, just great keepsakes, and they're a lot of fun to make. And I know you guys already have paper, so I know y'all can make these. Hopefully by seeing me make it start to finish, it helps take out some of the intimidation of the process, because you can definitely do it. You can handle it. One of the things that I'll probably do as I sit here and think about, okay, am I going to take it with me? Yeah, I think I will take it with me. Then one of the things I'll probably pack in my bag is I'll go through my cut apart pages. And I probably won't take my stickers because the stickers are on these big 12 by 12 sheets. I'll leave these at home and I'll deal with these when we get back. But, oh gosh, I love this paper pad so much. I think I bought 2 of them just to be safe. But what I could do ahead of my trip is take my scraps, which we have a lot of scraps, right? And you know what I need to do? Oh my gosh, are y'all ready to go, or do you have a few more minutes? So I have all these scraps. Flo's going. Bye, Jackie. Jackie's out. Well, what I need to do, and maybe I can do it later, is I need to make thank you cards for like room service in the hotel. We are staying in a Disney hotel for like 4 days. So I do need to make thank you cards for the staff. I'll have to do that. Well, Tanisha has time. Rose has got time. Oh, Flo, you can hang out too. Sonia's in it. Oh, thanks, Maddie. I'm glad you could join. Oh, and Kat's hanging out. Okay. So yeah, let's just we've got scraps. We've got these cut aparts. And I have other cut aparts. What if we make them some thank you cards? And then I'll already have in a world where you can be anything, be kind. That is perfect. Let's use that one for a thank you card. And we could use the hello there. All right, let's do it. Let's look on here. I could take something like these and just stamp like thank you in it. Just looking at my images here. I think this one's my favorite. I only have one. Oh, let me check my scraps. But I think I only have one of that. I can also just use the paper, right? The scraps, and make thank you cards. There's one. Yes. So I have two about kindness. These are pretty. And we've got all this. All right. Lots to work with. Lots and lots of scraps. Plus we have the stickers. All right. Real quick, let's make some cards for the staff who will be helping us. I know some people make cards and take them and give them to the staff on site too. In that case, I would just make like ATC cards, like little artist trading cards, you know? So let's use this scrap. Now, whoa, that's upside down. All right, here we go. This is a good piece to keep. That piece is trash. All right. So this was just our scrap from when we lined the front. And then this little rabbit can either, you know, I can make a card from this. This would be great for like a belated birthday card, but I'll probably just keep it. I'll put it in my bag for, you know, decorating. There's also this side. So we'll make two. We're staying in one room the whole time. And we usually skip, we do every other day like towel service and stuff on our longer stays. So I think I'll just need two. So I'll start with these two. These will be great on a 5x7, and then we're gonna, we're gonna use our scraps. So let me get those out. This won't take long. Yeah, Heidi, those would be perfect. The little cards. Gosh, I love those cards. He's funny. Okay. They're not far. They're right here. Yeah, these would be perfect size for to give people at the parks. You know, maybe you see a worker and you're like, a staff member, and you're like, I know that dude's having a hard day. You could give him a card. Okay, let's do... She's already cut anyway, so no big deal, but there's still some great characters there. Let's see. Let's find another paper that can go up here. I think we'll use this paper over here with this one. Okay, let's find, I'm wanting a neutral pattern. That could work. Wish I had my metal ruler. Ooh, I think I found it. Yay. There. Again, I'm not measuring today if I don't have to. Aw, Tanisha. Yeah, I have to go on like a week-long business trip every year. And I figure those people are looking after me for a week. I like to just leave a little something for them. Sometimes, if maybe you can't tip much, which I understand, right? Like, even just like a box of candy and a card, or just a little something to be like acknowledge, like, thanks for taking care of me and helping me have a better experience, a better stay. One of the speeches that a manager gave at our office one time was so good, because he talked about how important like custodial staff is, like, and how if you think about like NASA and you think about their space, the custodial staff is so important to helping people have a better environment, to have a clean and sterile environment, to stay healthy and perform at their optimal ability. And I thought that was so impactful, and so true, like, don't overlook the ones who are helping you, because they play an important role. And it's one of those kind of thankless jobs. It can be. The flowers on that didn't really show up, but there we go. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. Absolutely. Okay, we have a thank you card for, I can leave this in the hotel room. I'm going to need, let's see, we're mostly staying in 2 places. One in West Palm Beach and the other one in Orlando. I should probably cut that. Get a clean edge. There we go. How many trimmers do I have? So many. So many trimmers. Okay. That's pretty. And then we just need like a thank you. I've got thank you stamps for days. Look at this one. Y'all might have this one. An oldie but goodie. Yeah, Esther, I can put it with a tip or with a small gift or whatever. It's just a way of saying thank you. Yeah, exactly. Before I travel, I like to think about where I'm staying, how many days, and I like to take a card. And I can leave it with a tip. But sometimes, you know, one time I left it with a plant, actually. I found a really cute, I was somewhere, I was traveling, and I found a really cute plant. And I knew I couldn't bring it back with me, but I was like, oh, but I could give this to the staff with a thank you card, with my thank you card. And so let's see. I think this blue will be nice. Lagoon blue. Oh, that's a good idea, Sonia. I really need to start like stamping my cards that I give so that people know I have a business. I usually just write handmade by Bitty Penny and they probably think, well, yeah, whoever that is. But I should have like bittypenny.com on there or something. I think we're gonna have to put some stickers on this one too. I use black for this. So, hi Gloria. She says, I've been searching for ideas, want to make a small gifts for my daughter-in-law's family for Thanksgiving. I have a desk calendar and that's all. I need more paper craft gifts. For Thanksgiving. Gloria, what about like a blessing jar? Have you seen those where it's like a mason jar and if they're, you know, if it was like a Christian family, you could write or type up. If you don't like your handwriting, you could type up different scriptures, cut them out on strips and put them in the jar. Or you could put like blessings in there and make like, and you don't have to use a big mason jar. You could just get a small one and you could decorate it and you could give them like a blessing jar. Oh, small, yes, handmade cards are always a good gift. You guys, I always have people say when I've given them gifts of handmade cards, they just want more. They are never disappointed. My kid's pediatrician, I give her, I didn't really like the blue, um, but I kind of like it showing through. It's not perfectly stamped. I give her every year for their annual visit, I give her a whole stack of cards, like 10, 15 cards. And she loves them, loves them. The last time my son was sick, it wasn't, you know, his usual visit. It was just because he was sick that we went in. And she's like, oh my gosh, I got so excited when I saw Enzy on my list today because I just used one of your cards this morning for my friend's birthday. And she's like, I'm getting low. Wink, wink. You know, cards are always a good gift, Gloria. Let's see how many more scraps we can add. Let's add this one, I think. And then we'll be done. Then I'll let you guys go. But now I can check this off my list. So I'll use this one for the hotel in West Palm Beach. Since it's not Disney, it's a few hours away. And then I'll use the Alice for when we stay at the Disney resort. What else can I add to this? I do want to see if maybe one of these will look, let's see if there's like the butterfly. Just gonna lightly set it on there. I think that's it. I think that's it. I need to cut this a little shorter. Hey Carmina, how you doing? We made a whole big journal today, and I'm just finishing up with my scraps and making a couple of thank you cards. And then I'm headed out. I hope you're doing well. I just got the like urge. I want to go to the Cheesecake Factory. I want a piece of cheesecake. I'm always bringing food to the conversation and crafty videos. I can't help it. But it did just like pop into my mind. I don't know. I've made, I think, prettier cards, but this will work. It's a thought that counts, right? I'm just trying to use up my scraps. And I needed thank you cards for the staff. So we've got 2 now. I can put sequins and stuff on them too. I'll do that later. We've been on here long enough. So a couple of cards and a journal. We did it, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. My stomach's growling. It heard cheesecake, so yes, I'm having like serious cheesecake urges just all of a sudden. Oh my gosh. Oh, the angel stamp. Oh, good. The snow angel. Oh, I'm so glad. Jill is so wonderful, and so is Peachy Keen. And, you know, just teeny tiny company. I'm glad you're supporting them. I know you'll love it. It's beautifully made. It's a wonderful stamp. I know you'll love it. That's it, guys. That's all I have for you today. That's all. We just made a journal and a couple of little thank you cards. I love hanging out with you guys. You ordered that and more. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, Ava, Peachy Keen has some of the cutest stuff. They really do. I love you guys so very, very much. Thank you for spending so much time with me. I know you could be anywhere doing anything. And the fact that you want to hang out with me makes my heart grow and grow and grow. I love hanging out with you too. I miss you when we don't get together. So, you know, y'all are my buddies, my pals, my friends, and I appreciate you. We have the best community. I love you guys so much. Have a super awesome weekend. I will be back on Monday. Like next week is my last week of lives, like normal lives for 2 weeks. I'm going to be fiending. I'm probably going to have to like go live from my hotel room or from Disney or somewhere just to say hi to you guys because I'm going to miss you so stinking much. All right. Love you guys. I'll see y'all later. Bye.